JRPGs are typically something I crave, but I can never really commit to. I used to be an avid Tales of buff, but over the years putting in that kind of time sink for very run-of-the-mill marketable anime characters and cheesy storylines started to really bore me. The SMT series, however, has always managed to keep very interesting game mechanics while also delivering deep, dark, apocalyptic narratives. The recent SMT4 Final, or Apocalypse as it's known in the West, fixed a lot of the gripes I had with the previous entry SMT4, like story pacing, boss battles, and grinding. Persona, the more popular SMT spin-off series, also explores those dark themes. I enjoyed my time with Persona 2 and 3 FES, but wasn't really satisfied with 4. It felt like a rehash of 3, and all of the other spin-offs, excluding Golden, kind of made me sick of the cast. Persona 5, after a very long Western localization development phase, was finally released to the wild on April 4th, and it's a very important staple to the JRPG industry. Persona 5 feels like the Japanese dev team got together in a room and marathon Detective Conan, Lupin III, and Magic Kaito, and was like, yo, we can do this. And they executed it the only way Atlus knows how, with style. Persona 5 is a homage to the gentleman thief genre, but instead of stealing real treasures, they instead steal the heart of crooked adults, making them confess their evil doings. Although the game has been out for a long while in Japan, I was surprised I managed to avoid spoilers. And that's probably due to the no Atlus left on their website, which has then since been updated. Japanese higher-ups insist on not wanting this game to be spoiled to any consumers, even going as far as content ID claiming and channel strikes. Minimal story is allowed to be discussed, so you don't need to worry about this video hitting that territory too far. I will try my best to be vague in the topics because there are several story beats and narrative strings that are specifically made for a single playthrough. In Persona 5, you are a transfer student on probation, which is the central reoccurring theme of the game. You've come here to turn a new leaf, taken in by a friend of your parents. Granted your reasons for arrest aren't your fault, you still have to abide your punishment. Living an honest life as a student proves to be harder than it looks, as a string of unexplained psychotic breakdowns flood news headlines that will make sense and develop as you complete the game's lengthy story. Our protagonist is given the role of trickster and is guided by the familiar Igor. Igor serves as a proprietor of the Velvet Room, but things are a bit off, like his new voice, and his inability to fuse personas. Probably having a sick day or something. He guides you into what he calls rehabilitation. Justine and Caroline, Igor's new assistants, act as correctional officers and give you access to what the Velvet Room has to offer. The Velvet Room is as robust as ever, with a number of returning and new features, such as fusing personas to make even stronger personas that inherit the abilities of the two fused. Group fusions allow you to fuse multiple personas to make the ultimate persona of a certain arcana. You can now craft the perfect persona with the Gallows Execution option. You sacrifice a persona to directly farm any persona of your choosing. It's still a grind, but hard work pays off in the late game, making this the best option over fusions. What Persona 5 excels at is making some truly interesting cast of characters, with well thought out backgrounds while also making it a game mechanic itself. As you build upon your confidence, your bond with them grows deeper, which allows you to create stronger personas. You must also choose wisely who you decide to spend your time with, because you are pressed for time with a deadline at the end of each month. This enables the player to think critically on shifting between a job, reading a book, scoping out a palace, or trying to hang out with a friend/potential love interest. You can max out the confidence without having to date them like Persona 3 made you do. Dating a certain character lets you have special story events that are pretty precious moments. If you're wondering who I chose, I went with Kawakami. Her perks are some of the best, as they grant you access to skipping class or even going out at night after a palace/mementos infiltration, with a special massage. Take that as you will. Plus, her link is a mix of cute and heartfelt moments, and honestly, I just couldn't resist that cute poofy hair. If you like the idea of bosses having their own themed dungeons, known in this game as palaces, but also like the drog and drown out grind that was Tartarus, well, Persona 5 has them both. Palaces are really fleshed out, and thanks to the Catherine engine, the dev team was able to implement interesting puzzles and stealth mechanics, and decent proportioned character models. Ambushing enemies allow you to get the first move, but getting caught causes an alert meter to rise, and if it goes too high you'll get kicked out of the palace, forcing you to go another day, and losing all your so precious time. Now on the topic of gameplay, this is almost on par with some of the core mechanics SMT Final implemented. Although Persona 5 does it better visually, it still boils down to exploiting your opponent's weakness to make them fall on their ass and blast them with an all-out attack. Kinda wish they had a steel turn / smirk mechanic the mainline series has. I mean, they kinda did it with the Baton Pass, which is a super neat addition, mind you. I just kinda wanted more since you'll be generally grinding for dozens of hours. Oh, did I mention Demon and Demon Negotiation is back? You can now recruit demons, thus turning them into personas by having casual conversations with them. Although a lot of the options make little sense, it kinda gives you an idea of what a demon's worldview and thought process is like. Guns are also back, but in the form of airsoft guns that shoot real bullets in the cognitive world. Sounds weird, but it makes sense. The guns also feel super good to fire as you can unload on multiple enemies.
You're done! Right off their feet! Nice, Joker! This is a holdup!
The most common praise Persona 5 gets is its beautiful art direction, from the opening sequence to its title menu, to its really cool UI you cycle throughout the game. They even make equipping weapons look cool. The color chosen for this game is a crimson red, Persona 3 being a mellow blue, and Persona 4 being a golden yellow. The crimson red gives this game a tone that implies justice, youth, and rebellion that is complemented by the game's narrative. You are playing the role of a rebel youth trying to change the world, or more so the heart of corrupted individuals for the betterment of the world. I really like that this game uses a social media forum to make sense of why you chose the targets you did. Since it's actually hard to prove to the world our characters can actually change hearts, a fan site was created to serve as sort of a voting poll to choose the scummiest of scum to change their heart and prove to people like, oh shit, this is actually happening, which is a clever little way to open up side quests. In Mementos, the Tartarus equivalent, you're basically at the core of human desire. This is where you can fight the low-class criminals, the stalkers, the abusers, the exploiters, the worst of the worst. And the deeper you go, the grimier and darker it gets. This is not only a grinding spot, but also a way to get certain special Persona fusions. Make sure to clear as many floors as you can, as you will have to revisit it later down the line. I think what really stuck with me during my playthrough and what really made me adore this game so much was the fact that the friends you make throughout the year feel genuine and remind me of my group of friends. From the group chat to the big hangouts at our house, to the fact that we'd always have each other's back even if we had our own disputes. Every character, although coming from a different background, all share a common struggle, and that's why they click so much. That's why they're able to put up with the high stress that comes with being a phantom thief. I get that the power of friendship beats all is cheesy and overused, but I'm such a sucker for them, especially when it feels as organic as it does in Persona 5. If you were ever thinking of jumping on the series, now would be a great time to start, as this is one of the most accessible of the Persona series, and it's a must-own for PS4 users. Let's show Atlus just how good of a job they did by supporting this and their future titles. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this, and if you ended up enjoying it, make sure to comment, like, and share this. It helps us so much. We just recently launched a Patreon, so if you're interested in directly supporting us, the link is in the description below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.